Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Today I'm coming to you with a simple recipe. I think it's going to be relatively simple, and I got this from one of my channel viewers. They asked me a question. His name is William, and he asked me a question when I made the dump cake last week. He said, what if instead of putting the fruit on the bottom, you put the cake mix on the bottom and then you put the fruit in the middle? And I thought about that. I've been thinking about that ever since he really posed that question. And I kind of wondered in my mind, how would that really work? So today I'm going to try this online. Now, the integrity of my channel is very important to me. So I do not try recipes, not unless they have been first tried and tested by me. So if you see this recipe, then that means that I not only prepared it, but I've tasted it and it's a good recipe. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need to make what I think is going to be a great dessert. You're going to need two types of cake mix. We're going to first need the yellow cake mix, classic yellow, as the base. And then we're going to need a lemon cake mix because lemon and blackberries go very good together. Now, I'm going to use this lemon supreme cake mix, and I think that's going to work fine. Then we're going to need a Sprite, vanilla, the blackberries. This is canned filling mix for its blackberries, and I love blackberries. I decided to do that. I was going to do blackberry cobbler, didn't have any fresh blackberries, so I just decided I would go ahead and do this. And we're going to need some melted butter. So let's get started. First, we're going to take, just like we did the dump cake, we're going to add the three flavors that we're using is vanilla, lemon, and we're going to be using the blackberry. So we're going to first add 1/2 teaspoon of flavor to each one, or this is vanilla extract, to each one of these cans of blackberries. And the same way I told you last week, there's no sense in dirtying up a bowl when you can just go ahead and mix it up in the can. Now, the only problem that I had when I looked at the blackberries were they looked to be a little bit thicker in liquids than the cherries did. So that's why I brought in the 7-Up. So we're going to mix that together. We're going to mix this, and we're going to mix the last one. And of course, again, you're going to have your dish buttered. This is kind of a little bit bigger dish that I'm using down here. This baking dish is like a 9 by 15, maybe a little bit bigger. I didn't measure it. But then I'm using a little bit more ingredients because I'm using 3 cans of the blackberry pie filling instead of using 2 like I did last week. And I'm also using 2 of the cake mix, and I'm throwing in the extra ingredient, which is going to be the Sprite. So now that I mixed them up together, I'm going to go ahead and as my base, I'm going to put down the vanilla cake mix first. Move everything out and then pull this up to me. And I'm just going to use this in the bottom. And this is a buttered dish. I'm spreading that all over. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit. Again, this is going to go in a 350-degree oven for roughly 30 to 35 minutes, and we'll see how this actually comes out. Now that I have that in, I am going to put a little bit of butter in here. Now, this is the same spoon that I've stirred the blackberries with, and that's okay. I'm going to get my melted butter. I'm going to put just a little layer of this, and I'm drizzling this all over the top of this cake mix. When he said it, it just really kind of, I started thinking about it. That sounds like it might be good, and it might work with my favorite type of pie filling, and that's going to be blackberry. So I said, let me just try it and see what happens. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the blackberry pie filling. And like I said, when it comes to dessert, blackberry, I'm crazy about blackberry cobbler. So I think that this ought to really work. Out of all the desserts, I think that's my favorite. So, and I'm trying to make certain that I got all of my pie filling, evenly distributed. But when he mentioned it, it really just sparked my curiosity, and some dishes do. And sometimes my viewers will mention something to me, and I'm like, I think that would really work. Let me just really try that and see how it really comes out. Now, if you're viewing this video, it means that it did work. Because it means that I've tasted it. I enjoyed it. And I included it on my channel. But like I said, I'm never going to put something out there that I have not tried. Because I don't want anybody to mess up any ingredients. And the one thing that helps me in, when people come back and say, "Oh, I tried this and this just really didn't work for me," which I really don't get comments like that often. But when I do, I will know that it's not because I put it out and I had not tried it. The reason why it didn't work is because maybe there was something that was done that was not quite like I instructed it to be done. Because when you deviate in making recipes, you don't know what it is that you're going to actually get. And I normally don't steer when people tell me that they're going to deviate. Well, I'm going to try margarine instead of butter. Okay, but that's not what I said. So I make certain that they know that now. I'm going to go ahead and put just another little drizzle of the butter. Now, if you would look down at this Blackberry filling, to me it looks a little bit thicker than the cherry. Let's wipe my hands just a little bit. Now I'm going to put on the top of this is the lemon supreme. And the reason why I put the lemon on top and put the vanilla on the bottom is because the lemon will have a little bit of a tart to it. And I think that would be a nice compliment when you take a bite of this particular dish. And like I say, I'm never going to put something out that I don't believe in, I don't trust, or that I know will not work. Now I'm going to go ahead and spread this just a little bit, just to make certain that everything is covered. Now, because the pie filling, to me, it just looked like it was a little bit thicker. This is a Sprite. And Sprite goes good in cakes. That's why I chose this. And I'm going to pour like a half of a can. On top. Now my oven is already preheating. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my butter on top of this. Okay. Okay, that's all we need to do to it. So I'm going to take it and put it in a 350-degree oven for roughly 30-35 minutes. And when it bakes off, I'll get back to you. Be right back. Okay, just took it out of the oven. There it is. So we're going to allow it to completely cool before it's cut. So I'll be right back. Okay, now we're back, and I'm going to go ahead and cut into this. And I want to tell you one thing about it, but I'm not going to throw throw it out. Just next time I'll just do it a little bit differently. I think we need to take the whole can of Sprite, which is exactly what I use, because see here and down here where it did not actually bake up, if I had taken the whole container of Sprite, I think it would have. But I'm going to go ahead and go into it because I don't think that that's a major. But it looks good. So I'm going to taste it before I post it. Look at it. And it stayed, what I like about it is, see, it stayed true to actually being a dessert that is not runny. I think it's really going to be good, but I'm going to taste it. So there you have it. Chris is making Blackberry dump cake. But that's going to be, I guess we'll call it double Dutch blackberry dump cake. That's what we'll call it. So what I'm going to do is, next time around, I'll just use the whole can of soda. So if you decide to do it this way, just use the whole can of soda on top of it. Okay? That's what I'm having today. I'm getting ready to post it. Now, if you see it, that means that it tastes really, really good. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye.